What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today, you guys, with another review for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, season 14, episode 2. The episode was titled A Sobering Truth, you guys. So before we do get into it, you guys know the routine. Stop taking that on this date, you guys. If you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel, do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's talk about the girls of Beverly Hills, shall we? Hey, Penelope. I appreciate you for coming in both of the lives early and leaving your comments. It means so much to me. You said you haven't watched the episode yet, but hey, you know what that really that means a lot to me that you actually came to the live and you haven't watched it. It was a good to me. It was a good episode. Um, what I will say, and I've said this before, you guys know me. Even though I like people, even though I like, I have my people that I like on Housewives. I ain't got no problem with calling them out when I see some BS in my presence. And this week's episode, much like last week's episode, we're calling out Kyle. I like Kyle, but girl, you full of crap. Oh, you said you've been tired and sleeping early. I'm right there with you. I am on the same wavelength as you. I'd be going to sleep early and just I'm sorry. I know what you're talking about. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. So yeah, you guys, like I said, we're gonna call Kyle out. So this episode, it opens where the last episode ended with Dorit and Kyle, right? And if you guys know me when it comes to Beverly Hills, you guys know that Dorit is not my favorite person. Y'all know I don't see it for Dorit, ain't ever saw it for Dorit, especially with that fake accent. When you've traveled the world, you can speak in any accent you want. No, you can't. You cannot. It doesn't work like that, Dorit. So Dorit and Kyle are still talking about their friendship, right? And Dorit is telling Kyle how she feels about the fact that Kyle went on Amazon Live and said that she exaggerated their friendship. And you guys watched me last week. You guys know I went down the timeline of Dorit and Kyle. Dorit and Kyle have been thick as thieves since Dorit has been on this show. The Fox Force 5. We cannot pretend like the Fox Force 5 wasn't a real thing. Y'all were close knit. Renna, Teddy, Dorit, Kyle, and Erica. All five of y'all were like scissor sisters. But okay, whatever, Kyle. So Kyle is saying to Dorit that the reason why she did this is because of the fact that at BravoCon, when Andy asked to rank the Richardsons, I said, hey, Kyle, that may be one small part of it, but that ain't even it. You ain't mad about that. You cannot sit here and literally tell me that you're mad at Dorit because of BravoCon. And like Dorit said, she was being tongue in cheek. And I said that last week. Dorit was being cheeky. She was being a little cheeky. She was being a little shady when she did that. There was nothing for Kyle to take any offense towards, but you want to play like you did. But okay, Kyle, go away from me with that, right? But Dorit called BS on it. And I was like, absolutely. And I'm like, the fact that I have to sit here and agree with Dorit is a problem in itself for me, right? So Dorit says that, let's be for real, Kyle, you got mad at me because of what I said on Watch What Happens Live. And I watched that episode of Watch What Happens Live last season when she was on with Gertie. And Andy asked her, like, what is the status of your relationship with Kyle currently? And Dorit said, well, the closer that she's gotten to Morgan, it feels like she's gotten distant from me. And I mean, let's keep it a buck with each other, right? When y'all get into a new relationship, sometimes when you get into a new relationship with a person, you spend so much time with that person, you be on the phone with that person, you be over that person's house all the time. And sometimes, not all the time, sometimes you can, your friendships can kind of go by the wayside just a little bit. Ask me how I know. I've done it before. I've I did it with my ex that I was with for 5 years. When we first got together, it ain't that I pushed my best friend to the side, but there would be times where I'd be like, ooh, hang out with my best friend, like, okay, girl, gotta go. And she'd be like, who you going to go see? I'm like, girl, that ain't got nothing to do with you, but I'll tell you later. So Dorit didn't say anything wrong, if we're being honest. But okay, Kyle wants to say that's her issue. Kyle, that's not the issue. Tell Dorit what the real issue is, right? So Dorit asked Kyle, why not tell me that you're mad at me? And Kyle said that she didn't have it in her and that she was struggling. Kyle, girl, we know you're struggling. You're struggling with that sexuality. And it's okay. Like I said in the pre-recorded review, girl, it's okay. I said it last week too. And I'll say it again this week, Kyle. Ain't nothing wrong with a little cooch. If you like a little cooch, you like a little cooch, right? There are so many people out there in this world who like cooch, men and women. You're just among the club of people who like cooch, and you like the peen as well. So you're bisexual at best. So it ain't nothing wrong with that, Kyle. Your kids are grown. Your kids will be okay. So whatever, Kyle. Penelope says, I think it's because their marriage fell apart. You know, I'll give you that part. It could be because of that. And here's the thing that I will say. It's like if you guys watched the pre-recorded video, I said this in the video and I'll say it again. I don't think that Kyle's issue is the BravoCon thing. I honestly do not believe that that's what Kyle's issue is. What I believe Kyle's issue is a culmination of things. Her relationship with Mauricio is going, going sour, right? They're not together. Her relationship with Kathy and Kim, that relationship be up and down, right? And I also do, so it's a lot of things that happened over the last 2 seasons with Kyle, and she may not have felt like Dorit was being the best friend that she could have been to her, right? But at the same time, Kyle, you're being passive aggressive. And I don't like passive aggressive. If you have an issue with me, if I've done something to offend you and I don't know that I did it, the easiest way to address me is to say, hey, JB, you did this, you said this, and I didn't appreciate that. And we move forward. Because it's happened before, right? It's happened before with somebody, and I offended somebody, and the friend came to me and said, hey, what you did this, and it offended me. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I was like, that wasn't what my intention was. What my intention was to say, that wasn't my intention. The message got misconstrued, and we made up with each other, and we're cool. But Kyle can't do that with Dorit, and I don't understand. What, I do kind of know why she can't do it with Dorit, because Dorit talks too much, and Dorit doesn't listen to anybody, right? So Dorit eventually got fed up, and Kyle walked away, and so Dorit left. And in my personal opinion, when it comes to Dorit, I said this last season. I think I know I've said it last season. I feel like Dorit is reading people's comments on social media about how she hasn't had a storyline. She ain't really been having an opinion on things in the last few seasons, because she even said the Dorit from the last 2 years, that Dorit, she's not here anymore. I was like, yeah, you've been listening to what people said about you. Do I have a problem with it 100%? Not really. It's just the fact that it's just, in my personal opinion, when it comes to Dorit, it's not authentic. I don't think it's authentic when it comes to Dorit. But you guys feel free to tell me your thoughts and your opinions about it in the comment section and in the live. But that's really all we got with Dorit. I mean, with that scene at Sutton's party. So we'll go ahead and move on, you guys, and we'll talk about one of the baddest on this show, because she's a baddie. She's a baddie to me, and I love her. And I did not send her thing over her title card over to my screen. So give me a second, because we can talk about Boz. So her name is Bozoma. I love her. I am in love with Boz. That's what I will say. Y'all should have cast Boz last season instead of Anna Marie. Or is it Anne Marie? Whatever, irrelevant. 8.5. I think Bravo should have had Bose over 8.5 last season because y'all know how much I couldn't stand 8.5. That lady irked my spirit. Then her husband irks me. Everything about that lady just bothered me. But we got like I really think y'all made a mistake in not casting this boss right here. Because Kathy was right about one thing. She is a boss. She is a boss. So let's bring our girl Bozoma onto the screen. So, like I said, you guys, I love Bose. I think Bose. One thing I want to say before I even talk deeply about Bose, because some of y'all finna get on my last damn nerves. Because I see on social media where people are like, "Oh, they think that Bose and Garcelle are gonna have an issue with each other." Why do y'all think that Bose and Garcelle will have an issue with each other? Why do y'all think that? Did y'all not see when Bose came into the party in last week's episode and spoke to Garcelle? So I don't understand why y'all think that Bose would have an issue with Garcelle and Garcelle would have an issue with Bose. Like y'all, it's like y'all trying to pit two black women against each other, and I'm not here for that. And I don't want that. I want them to get along with each other. It's fine for Bose to be cool with Dorit. I don't have a problem with that either. Girl, if you want to be cool with Dorit, be cool with Dorit. But for y'all to try to make an issue where there is none, it's very weird to me. But let's proceed forward. Bose. So we see Bose. So Bose has something that she calls what was it? A badass workshop. Love it. Oh, she also said that her name means goddess. Well, you definitely are a goddess, beloved. A beautiful goddess. Um Now Bose, what I will say you guys about Bose, I was not expecting for her ex. Well, here's the thing. How do you? I don't know how you say it when it comes to it's her. Oh, that's what it is. It's her late husband. Her late husband, Peter. Girl, I wasn't expecting for Peter to be a white man. Peter was a white man. I wasn't expecting for Peter to be a white man. I don't know what I was expecting for Peter. I don't know if I was. I don't know what I was expecting. Yes, Penelope, it is very weird. I don't know what I was expecting from Peter, but Peter's a white man. He was a good looking white man. No, he was definitely a good looking white man. I will say that. Penelope says, of course he he is white. Yeah, Peter was white. I didn't know that. Um, Penelope also says, I wonder what happened to make them consider divorce. That I do wonder that. I don't know if she'll go into it, but I do wonder that. So she then talked about her, Peter. So I really felt bad for her daughter because her daughter never got to know her father because when he was diagnosed with cancer, he passed away. But when he passed away, she was only 4 years old. So any memories that she have, so she probably doesn't have any memories of her dad. And I was like, oh, that is so sad. Like I said in my review, the pre-recorded, when I lost my mom as an adult, and I know how difficult that's been for me. So I can't imagine what it's like to lose a parent as a child and then to not even know your parent. So sad, right? So after that, we see as Dorit and Erica went over to Bose's house. Baby, I love Bose's house. Beautiful, beautiful. And she had them take their shoes off when they came to the door. That's what I do too. When people come to my apartment, baby, them shoes got to come off at the door. You ain't bringing that outside onto my carpet. Mm-mm. So they asked Bose how she feels about the girls, right? And she told them that prior to the party, she had Sutton over to her home, and Sutton was just giving her the rundown on Dorit and Kyle, and she asked Dorit, like, so what is the true issue with you and Kyle? And so Dorit says, well, when it comes to Kyle, Kyle gives different excuses about what the issue is. And I was like, here we go again. I'm having to agree with Dorit because Dorit is not wrong. When it comes to Kyle, Kyle isn't being forthcoming and being honest about what her real true issues are with Dorit. And it's like, girl, if you just say it's a whole snowball of things that have made me feel a little way about you, and then I'm about to say exaggerate, expound upon what those issues are, then girl, we can actually get somewhere. That is my that is what that is it. That is it. That is it. I want season one Kyle back because I like season one Kyle. The Kyle that we got today, the thing with Kyle is I think Kyle has kind of let what the viewers have said go to her head. Because, people say she's the queen of Beverly Hills since Vanderpump left the show. And I really feel like Kyle has let that go to her head. And as much as I like Kyle, girl, you ain't now, nor have you ever been the queen of Beverly Hills. If we're gonna be honest, and I'm an honest person, right? If I had to say who I really believe the queen of Beverly Hills is, it would be Vanderpump because Vanderpump was that girl. Was I a fan of Vanderpump? No, I'm not a I'm not really a big fan of Vanderpump, but I would give it to Vanderpump. I would give it to Vanderpump. That scene lives rent free in my head. That's why y'all always hear me quoting that scene in the limo with Kim when Kim told her, "You stole my goddamn house." Oh, that scene lives rent free in my head. You're an alcoholic, LOL. Oh my God, that limo scene was everything. Baby, when Kim told her, "You stole my goddamn house." That scene is chaotic. That is the most chaotic scene. Oh my God, that is why I fell in love with Beverly Hills, is because of the Richard sisters and the drama. And like I said, that finale with them in the back seat of that limo, I can replay that scene all day, every day. That is one scene that lives rent free in my head from Beverly Hills. And another scene that lives rent free in my head with Beverly Hills is when they went to Amsterdam. When Kim said, "You don't want us to talk about the husbands," and Renna slammed that glass on the table. "Don't you ever go for my husband." And Kyle ran out that door. I said, "Kyle, where are you running to?" Where are you running to, Kyle? Those are two scenes that live rent free in my head. Amsterdam and their limo. Let's not talk about the husbands. "Don't you ever go for my husband." Or when she told Eileen to have a piece of bread. When she told Eileen to have a piece of bread. Oh God. And when she called Eileen a beast. Beast. How dare you? Those are peak Beverly Hills moments for me. Yep, Amsterdam. Let's not talk about the husbands. I really do want to. I really want to know what Kim was alluding to when it comes to Harry. I have a sneaky suspicion I know what Kim was talking to about Harry, because y'all know people speculate about Harry's sexuality as well, but that's neither here nor there. Oh, high as giraffe Cuda. High as giraffe Cuda. Kim was high as hell and still gathering the girls. Oh, for real? Harry was accused of SA. Oh, I did not know that part. Is that what Kim was talking about? Because I thought Kim was talking about his sexuality. Because I know people have questioned Harry's sexuality over the years too. Oh, that's interesting. Tell me something. So yeah. So we're talking. Oh, we're talking. Okay. Okay. That's what Kim was talking about. Interesting. I know Renna was pissed because she said, "Don't you ever go for my husband." So it is what it is. Another scene that I kind of always laugh at, even though I don't like her, Brandy Glanville. Whose party were they at when she pushed Kyle? When Kyle had that plate in her hand, and Brandy push her down them stairs. Oh God. Or when Brandy slapped Vanderpump in the face. Beverly Hills has some great moments. Beverly Hills has some really good moments. So we also so that, like I said, they were talking about the situation with Dorit and Kyle, right? Erica is saying that she can see both sides, and I was like, I can too, right? I can see Dorit's side and I can see Kyle's side. And then Dorit started talking about the kids. And my thing with Dorit, girl, your kids are not stupid. Your kids are 10 and 8. Your kids have access to a phone. Your kids probably have friends who have access to a phone. Your friends got parents who got access to a phone. So some way, somehow, your kids will figure out that you and PK are in Splitsville. Again, y'all don't live in the same house like that. Also, y'all house is in pre-foreclosure. Girl, I see why you're trying to keep this chick. I don't blame you. Um, Penelope says Harry allegedly essayed a woman, a rising starlet in the 90s, not too long after he met Lisa. The story goes that Harry and Lisa threatened this woman and scared her out of Hollywood. Oh, is and I'm assuming that's what Kathy was alluding to at the reunion. Which reunion was? But that was Rena's last reunion when she was talking about how people perceive Rena in Hollywood. Interesting. I'm gonna have to go dig deep into that. I'm gonna have to go dig deeper into that one because I never knew what Kim was talking about. Oh, y'all know another scene that lives rent free in my head with Beverly Hills, the reunion. Which reunion was it? Oh God, which reunion was that? Which reunion was it with the bunny? Damn, I can't remember which one. Y'all will tell me in the comments. The reunion with the bunny when Kim brought that damn bunny to the reunion and gave it to Rena, and Rena had that one single tear that dropped from her eye. When Rena had that one tear, Rena had that one tear. I was like, you know what, Rena, you really are a great actress because, girl, how did you muster up one tear? Oh my God. Yes, with that one tear. I still don't know how Rena did it. I still to this day don't know how Rena did that. But when Kim brought that bunny back, I didn't blame Kim. I honestly didn't blame Kim because here's the thing. That was the season where Rena was going around. Oh, that's season 8, right? It's season 8 or 7. Because it's the season where they had Eden Sassoon on there, where Kim were now see people. I remember that season too because people got mad at me on social media because I echoed the same thing that Rena said. Not that Kim was on her, her last days. I'm not gonna say the word that Rena said, but Rena said that Kim was, on her bed where you take your long slumber. I didn't say that part, but you could definitely tell that Kim was not sober. And everybody, people, I remember on Twitter, people were chewing me up that season because I tweeted it I tweeted it that I didn't think that Kim was sober. They were like, "Yeah, Kim is sober. Kim is sober. Kim is definitely sober." And then after that season, Han Monty were not sober. And I wish at that time I could have found them people who attacked me on Twitter talking about Kim is sober. I was like, no, she's not. And I knew she wasn't sober. Kim never looked sober that season. But okay, yeah, they attacked. When I tell you guys they attacked me because I said I didn't believe that Kim was sober either. Them people attacked me left and right. Um. So next up, you guys, let's talk about Kyle. So Kyle, we see her meeting up with Sutton, right? Kyle, I know you probably have all the good intentions in the world when it comes to Mauricio, but you should listen to Sutton. You should absolutely listen to Sutton. So they went to lunch, right? And they're talking about Kyle and Mauricio. And so essentially, Sutton is telling Kyle that she feels that Kyle should go ahead and file for divorce for Mauricio. And I agree with her. Like, nip it in the bud today. And Kyla's whole thing is, well, with Mo and I, everything is 50-50. And I know LA is a community property. Isn't it community property? Y'all can tell again, I don't be knowing all the legal stuff, but y'all can tell me. So yeah, I mean y'all could split things 50-50, but I feel like if this man has already took your picture down in the office and done replace it with his Dancing with the Stars partner girl, that man is ready to move on. And I don't think that the divorce is gonna be amicable, right? It ain't like y'all kids are young. The only one that's still in the house is Portia, but Portia is 16 years old. Girl, go ahead and file for the divorce. Listen to Sutton. Listen to Sutton. So then they talked about Dorit. Like I said, I like Kyle, but I have not one problem with calling Kyle out. Kyle, you can say all the things that you want to say, but when it comes to Dorit, you are wrong. Tell Dorit how you really feel. Tell when you're upset with her, tell her you upset with her. Tell her why you're upset with her. The real reason and not the made up reason in Kyle's brain. Like, please stop. Penelope says Mauricio Ben left that marriage. Kyle needs to file to protect her assets before he goes and steals them. I agree. And here's the thing. You guys again know I'm a Beverly Hills fan. I've been watching Beverly Hills since season 1, and I know things that I've on Twitter. You learn some things that they don't show on the show. Kyle and Mauricio have been having problems. They just want to never bring it to the show. There have been cheating rumors for years when it comes to Kyle and Mauricio. There have been cheating rumors for years, but Kyle only wanted to address them in the last 2 seasons. But those rumors have been out there for years. They've been in the magazines. Like, that's my problem with you, Kyle, right now. Like, you now want to be you want to be forthcoming, but you don't want to be forthcoming. And I'm like, how is that possible? Like, you want to talk about the stuff with you and Mauricio last season, but then you don't want to tell us about what's going on with you and Morgan. But then this season, you don't want to talk about Morgan at all, period. You want to act like Morgan doesn't exist. It's a problem for me, Kyle. But yeah, Kyle and Mauricio have been having issues. I know for a fact, like I said about Dorit with that woman that found him in Mexico in season 9, Kyle and Mauricio was having marital issues as well as issues with the business, but they weren't talking about it on the show. They were talking about Vanderpump and that dog, Lucy Apple Juicy. Was that the dog's name? I know it was a stupid name. No offense to anybody who likes dogs, but that was just the dumbest name for a dog. But again, neither here nor there, right? But Kyle feels that Dorit hasn't been a great friend to her. I was like, well, Kyle, have you been a good friend of Dorit? Have you been a good friend of Dorit? Like, have you been a good friend to her? And I will say, no, absolutely not. But okay, Kyle, do you? Do you, right? So that's it with Kyle. And let's go ahead and wrap up the episode, you guys, and we will talk about Sutton. No, we talked about Sutton? No, we're not wrapping up the episode. My bad, you guys. We got to talk about. Well, where do y'all want to go? Do y'all want to go Sutton or Dorit? Because we still got to talk about Dorit and Sutton. But I guess we can talk. Let's talk about Sutton real quick. Since I got her on the screen, let's talk about Sutton. So with Sutton, wasn't really much with her in this episode. We see as Sutton has Kathy and Erica over to her home, right? And the whole conversation is about Kyle and the fact that with Kyle, like I said a few minutes ago, with Kyle, Mauricio has taken their picture out of the office and replaced it with him and his partner from Dancing with the Stars. Kyle, you are a better person than I could ever be. Because when I tell you today, Mauricio would have had to pack all his shit up and get out of my house. You're not going to sit here and disrespect me in my house and put a picture of another woman in the office where I got to see it. You can take that picture. You can take everything else in this house that belongs to you and skedaddle. Penelope says, save Dorit for last. Happy Sky, how are you doing today? You say Sutton bores me, and Penelope's laughing. I do agree that Sutton can be a little boring. That's why I know a good percentage of the fandom loves Sutton. I, however, not the biggest fan of Sutton, right? So Kyle, so we see as Sutton, Kathy, and Erica are gonna go over to Kyle's house just to cheer her up and make a pizza with her, right? So they get over there, and Kathy pretends to be the Amazon man. I was like, Amazon? It was when she tried to, when she rang the bell to rang the thing to get into the gate. I was like, that don't sound like nobody Amazon, but okay. So they let her in. Kyle let the girls in. Kyle, your dogs have bothered me for so many years. Your dogs are very wild. Your dogs are very rambunctious. On top of that, why your dogs always in the kitchen? This, let me see how I can say this respectfully. Let me see how I can say this in the most respectful of ways and not offend anybody on my channel. So when it comes to me, this is why I don't do potlucks, because I don't trust nobody's food. I don't trust how people prepare food, right? Some people don't wash their hands when they cook. Some people let the animals be on the kitchen counters and be in the kitchen when they cook, and that ain't for me. The latter is definitely not for me. The first one is not for me either, but the latter damn straight for me. If you have your animals in the kitchen when you cooking, baby, that is a problem for me. Don't let me see it. But again, like I said, I don't do potlucks. I ain't never done a potluck. I don't participate in potlucks. The only thing that I'll do from a potluck is stuff that you buy from a store. And I have to see that it's been sealed. If it ain't been sealed, if the seal has been broken before you bring it to me, then absolutely the hell not. But this is the prime reason why I don't do potlucks. Mm-mm. So Kathy made a joke about Mauricio working out in the gym, and I hollered. But Kyle felt the way about it. And I was like, okay, I wasn't mad that Kyle felt the way about it. And that's really it for that scene. They ended up leaving, and Kyle closed the door to that office. I was like, girl, why did you have that door open again? See, King Petty and me, even if I did what Kyle did and let that stuff stay, that picture would have stayed, because I would have tossed that picture right out the window, right behind him. Take her with you. Take her with you. So let's wrap up the episode, you guys, with Dorit. Dorit. So we see Dorit and PK. They are meeting up, and I was looking at their car at PK. I was like, a Bentley, PK? Y'all house is in pre-foreclosure. Baby, some rich people have the most skewed priorities. Your home is in foreclosure, but you driving a high-priced ass car. How that makes sense? It makes sense to y'all. It makes sense to y'all, right? PK done also bought him some new clothes. Talking about he's single PK. I said, oop, Dorit. He said single PK. And Dorit caught that, and she felt the way about it, right? I think that was a Bentley. I could be wrong. I know it was a high price. I think it was a Bentley. I don't know what. I thought it was a Bentley. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Um, I know it was a high price car. I know it was a car that he can take back and get the money from it. He can trade that car in. He can sell that car, and probably put something towards that pre foreclosure. I know that much he can do. Because I was just looking at the car. I'm like, I know that this is I thought it was a Bentley. I have to go back and look at the episode again, because I was looking at the emblem. But again, it was late last night when I watched this episode. But I was looking at the emblem on that car, and I thought it was a Bentley. If I'm wrong, then you guys can correct me and tell me what kind of car it was. But I know it was an expensive car. That much I do know. And what I do know is, sir, you can go get the money from. You can go get some money on that. You can go trade that car in and put it toward that foreclosure. Like, I would never want to have a foreclosure to my name. I would much rather. you take my car, then take my house. That's just me. Y'all can tell me if y'all think differently than me. Not take it back. Yes, do something with that car. Just don't keep it. I mean, your house is in pre-foreclosure for God's sakes. But okay, cool. If they like it, I love it. So y'all know Dorit's drink of choice, right? It's the Belvedere. I don't. I'm gonna make sure I try to get it correctly. It's the Belvedere Club Soda with It's let me. I'm actually because I'm actually gonna look it up. Her drink of choice, and y'all might put it in the comments before I find it. Yeah, so it's a Belvedere Club Soda with 3 squeezed lemons, with the carcass out. I was like, girl, you love that drink, don't you? That is her favorite drink. You know what though? One of these days, I feel like I might try that drink because I mean, she always orders that carcass out. Happy Sky says carcass out. She's low maintenance. Yeah, Dorit is just she really irks my spirit. Like I said earlier, Dorit irks my nerves. She's irked my nerves since she came on the show with that fake ass accent. But when Erica told her she's from Connecticut, I was like, girl, not from Connecticut with this accent. What is that? What is this accent supposed to be, anyways? I know over in Great Britain, I know in Great the Brits have different accents, but I still have never been able to pinpoint what Dorit's accent is supposed to be. But again, neither here nor there, right? So PK is talking about how his drinking and him not drinking more specifically, and how clear things are. I was like, well, I'd be damned. So you've had a whole lot of clarity in your relationship and with everything without drinking. Dorit, that's saying a lot about you, Dorit. And I don't know if it's saying good things about you, Dorit. But like I said, with Dorit don't listen to people. It's all about Dorit. And that in itself is a problem that Dorit is all about Dorit. Selfish, self-absorbed, self-centered, all the selves, right? So PK also says that when it comes to him and Dorit, that they don't speak nicely to each other. So Dorit in her interview was like, yeah, they would scream at each other. Then they got to the point where they would cuss at each other. And I'm like, where do y'all do this at? Where y'all kids be at? And then you talking about the fact that you ain't telling your kids that y'all are separated. Girl, your kids ain't stupid. But okay, I guess, right? If it works for y'all, it works for y'all. So then PK says that he made the biggest change by not drinking, but Dorit didn't make any changes. And I believe him. With Dorit, like I said, Dorit is all about Dorit. She's in her bubble. She's always in her bubble. So I believe PK, right? And then PK also told Dorit how he feels less than when it comes to her because she makes him feel less than. Now, one thing I want to say when it comes to PK, so PK was talking about the fact that when it comes to him and Dorit, when they first got together, Dorit was more outgoing and all this kind of stuff, but now she wants to be in the house and stuff, right? Whereas he was the opposite, and now he's outside and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, but PK, y'all got 2 small kids. Where do you think she's gonna be at with her kids? But okay. And then she was talking about the fact that they talk 5 times a day. He said, well, that's not gonna happen anymore. And her face crumbled. He was like, and I was like, well, what he's trying to say to Rita is he's trying to set boundaries with you and lose that codependency. But she felt the way about it. And I was like, girl, why are you feeling the way about it? If y'all are separated and potentially going toward a divorce, why would you expect to talk to this man 5 times a day? But okay, Dorit, it is what it is. But that's it, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, you guys, and also share the video. And until the next time, you guys, do me a solid favor. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Be blessed. And I hope you guys have a great and wonderful Thanksgiving, you guys. So I have made the decision not to continue reviewing the Real Housewives of New York City. I will continue to watch New York City, but going forward, I won't review it. I'll probably come back for the reunion for New York, and that'll be it. And then you guys keep an eye on the community tab. I'm going to go live tonight for Salt Lake City instead of going live tomorrow. So I'll go live sometimes late tonight, sometime late tonight. I'm thinking I'll go live about 10 o'clock Central Time, 10:30 Central Time. So that'll be 11 or 11:30 on the East Coast. And then that'll be 8 or 8:30 West Coast time. But yeah, you guys, I'll see you guys then. And let me get to Penelope. Happy Thanksgiving to you. Yes, I was reviewing New York. I was reviewing New York, but it's a done deal. See you there. And you say that's so late. It is, but the reason why I say 10:30 because what time does the episode come on? Because I think the episode comes on at 8 o'clock my time, 8 o'clock or something like that. I'm gonna figure it out. But like I said, keep an eye on the community tab, and I'll tell you guys for sure what time I'm gonna go live for Salt Lake City. But I will go live after the episode goes off for sure tonight. I do too. I definitely be tired too. But yeah, you guys, have a great rest of your evening because I gotta get off of here and go get a haircut real quick for Thanksgiving. And then I'll catch you guys for the live later tonight. Bye guys.